Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and I picked zucchini today. And I found a cauliflower in my fridge that my cousin left me. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I am going to prepare zucchini for the freezer, like I did last time, but I'm going to get started on my Picalilli Relish. Kitchen sink Picalilli Relish. Because guess what? We're using what we have. Now, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here, folks. I am going to prep some vegetables for Picalilli, which is a kind of relish. And I'm going to prep the rest of my zucchini for the freezer. But let's start with the Picalilli, because the Picalilli is a 2-day process. From what I gather, I have never made this before, and my vegetables are all washed. Picalilli, it's kind of a mustard pickle, and it's usually made with pearl onions, capers, small pickling cucumbers, and cauliflower. I have zucchini, onions, and cauliflower. I have cauliflower because my cousin Marilyn left me a lovely bunch of cauliflower in the fridge, and I never noticed it. So we're going to get the small stuff done first. I'm using the 1/2-inch blade on the chopper. They call for, when you make Picalilli Relish, they actually call for you to make a flour thickened sauce. You can leave that out, because you know you can't can flour and stuff, but I do have some clear gel, so I am going to use that. But if you don't have clear gel, just don't make the thickening part, right? So, relish. Now this is going to have to be salted and sit in the fridge overnight. So I'm going to set this aside for a second. Oh no, we're not. We're going to use our yellow. So we're just calling this kitchen sink Picalilli Relish. And it's really wonderful on ham sandwiches, on roast beef. It's one of those relishes that, you know, people kind of left along the way, I guess, when they came over from the old country. But I've had it and I love it. So there we've got a yellow zucchini, we got a green zucchini in here. I'm not making a huge amount. Now we're going to do onions. And while I'm doing this, folks, my vegetables are all washed, and I'm just going to sprinkle some salt on here because we want to drain these off. We want to get as much of the water so that when we cook it, it's not watery. You know what I mean? So let's get on with the cauliflower and the onions. My cousin came up to visit, and she brought food from her fridge because she didn't want it to go bad, so she put it in my fridge, and we went away, and I completely forgot I had a cauliflower in the fridge. Now, I am going to very carefully trim any parts off of here that are discolored. It's been washed, but if you can't wash off the discolor, you're going to cut it off. So I'm just going to take these florets off. Now I don't have pearl onions, I just have plain onions, so I'm just going to chop them. So don't be emailing me from Great Britain saying, that's not how you make Picalilli. I've just told you. This is kitchen sink Picalilli. I have to make my vinegar and spices and set them in the fridge overnight. And these are going to be salted and put in the fridge overnight. There is the cauliflower. And into the bowl that goes. All right. So I have 3 onions about this size. I'm not measuring anything, folks. I'm not measuring. I'm going to figure this out by the time. I will figure out how much I need by the amount of vegetables I have. Onions do it to me all the time. All right, now I'm just going to salt these. Salt pulls the moisture out so that when I rinse these tomorrow, when I take these out of the fridge, these are going to be soaking in liquid just because I gave them a good portion of salt. Mix it in and then rinse my hands because every little nick on my hands is going to hate that salt. So that's what's going in the fridge. Okay, so now we're going to make our spiced vinegar. And you can use any vinegar you want, but I'm kind of following a British recipe to a degree. And so I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of malt vinegar. This is the kind of stuff that is best on fish and chips. And 3/4 of a cup of white vinegar, because malt vinegar is pretty strong. So we're going to do 1.5 cups of vinegar here. And I'm going to add, now you can make a spice bag if you want, but it's easier just to, here's my pickling spices. You just cook them with the vinegar and then strain them. Okay, so this is boiling. I'm now going to shut it off and let it cool. So now that this is cooled down, I'm going to strain this spiced vinegar. And what was 1.75 cups or 1.5 cups has been reduced quite a bit. I'm going to top this up to 1.5 cups with just white vinegar. Smells delicious. All right, this is going in the fridge until tomorrow. Now here's the vegetables that were soaked in salt overnight, and they have been drained and rinsed. Let's make our sauce. Now, what I'm going to tell you, now here is our 1.5 cups of spiced vinegar. And I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of mustard powder. It calls for turmeric. It calls for turmeric. I don't have turmeric, and besides, we like some zing, so I'm going to put in a teaspoon of curry powder. Oh, that smells good. And I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of celery seed. Now, folks, if you don't have clear gel, please do not use flour or cornstarch unless you're just putting this in the fridge, okay? Because cornstarch or flour to thicken will separate in the canning process. So I'm going to put in a heaping tablespoon of clear gel. I'm going to put the lid on here, and I'm going to shake this all up. Yes, my pot has taken a beating. And I'm going to shake this all up, and into the pot this goes, along with 1 cup of sugar. And we're going to cook this until it thickens. I like cooking the spices in the vinegar and then straining them. That saves me from doing a spice bag. You don't want to put spices directly into your pickles, because if they're not fresh, you know, fresh dill, fresh garlic. Celery seed is fine, but everything else will go better. Now this is getting thick, so we're just going to now dump our Picalilli veg in there. Now, I made this sauce nice and thick for one simple reason. There will still be more water coming out of this vegetable. All right. These are not cooked, but they're hot. So now we can start to can. I'm using my stock pot as a boil bath canner. I do have a wire rack in the bottom. If you don't have a rack, just fold a tea towel and put it in the bottom. But I've got 4-pint jars simmering in water with a splash of vinegar to keep them from clouding. Okay, we're going to dip our paper towel into the vinegar water. Make sure we get our juice in there. I'm going to take some of this. Ooh, that's a hot jar. That's a hot jar. Okay. I gotta pull a little bit out. There we go. Debubble, debubble, debubble. Wipe. And this will go into the canner as soon as I take out another jar. And this, oops, this is going right into the canner. Alrighty, I got my 4 pints of Picalilli, and they are covered by at least 1 inch to 2 inches of water. I'm going to put the lid on, bring them up to a boil, and we're going to can these for about 20 minutes. 20 to 25, 20 minutes for pints, 25 minutes for quarts. Okay, timer is 10 seconds from going off. I'm going to set them close together. This is the Mrs. Wolfe from our half-acre homestead, and that is how I saved a going bad cauliflower by making kitchen sink Picalilli Relish. Waste not, want not. Mwah! Take care. God bless. Remember, folks, if you're not using 4-Jars canning lids, you're missing out. Heavier than any other single-use lids on the market, they are a U.S. company, and these lids are of superior quality. The only lids I will use. Check the description box below this video for the link, and use the coupon code HALFACRE for 10% off. Orders over $50, ship free within the USA. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. They make the perfect gift for the home canner in your life. 4-Jars lids. You can't go wrong.